we are heading there now for a game. Rather than the weather forecast or the pronunciation of it,
it looks
coastline. Sunny. It is sunny. Map number 3 between these teams. This is now basically a best of 3. It has reset. And the one thing that I think is really important to remember is the way our banning order in this series worked. We had pick, pick, ban, ban, pick, pick, decider. We've skipped over those 2 middle maps now that the teams opted to ban away. So this now is where you're going to see the real strength for either side starting to claim in. It's kind of their second choice while they've also had one of the weaker ones removed. So I'm thinking coastline here, being the pick that it is, that it's come through for the Pittsburgh Knights, just screams to me comfort. But as Gio alluded to on the desk, there are 3 huge fraggers on the side of Wildcard. The big problem is stats can tell you all that you like, my dear. The big issue I see coming out for Knights is the Dino is on a rampage. He's on 27 kills across 2 maps. If he can do it for the 3rd map here, this guy could be on an absolute tear across the series and end up dragging his team through into wins that maybe they have no rights having, as many of us have said in this game against Wildcard.
There's only one way to stop him, Des.
Kill him.
That's a big giant space rock.
A space rock?
A meteor. It's that, you know, extinct all the dinosaurs.
I see. Okay, I get the stretch. I understand.
All right, I'm sorry. Okay.
I love how deadpan you just say things like that.
I can be very serious with these kind of things.
I don't mess around with my jokes.
I do not mess around.
I am dead serious. Hat, ladies and gents. Round number 1 to the most, I'd say one of the most recognized sites in the game, Hukra and Billiards to kick things off. And we are seeing a Nomad being brought out here. So clearly a fear of the unknown, the jump out potential coming in. And let's quickly touch on those bans that we saw coming out at the same time. Lion, Echo, Hibana, and the Maestro. Hibana I question.
It's
because
50-50, but
it is. It's good for the site. It's good for playing on the upstairs site, I think. When you're trying to attack in towards the bar area, you want to get some X-Kairos down onto the courtyard wall. It makes it very, very uncomfortable for the defenders to play where Gio is right now, sat in that area I'm talking about. Otherwise, I think you can make do without it. Maybe VIP wall you look at as one that you can open up to give you a wonderful angle from VIP straight through the site. But outside of that, I feel there are bans that are more deserving. Valkyrie is one that springs to mind.
Well, you cannot ban Valkyrie instead of a Hibana.
Yeah, true. I think what the thing is that I've looked across the top of the screen and saw 4 and just been like, defenders on the right, attackers on the left.
All right, anyway, like the thing is, though, if you bring a hard breacher on this map, it's going to be Hibana.
Yeah.
You
would never bring a Thermite or a Maverick.
Nah,
it's just not a thing.
Worth it, right? So I get it. Remove it just for comfort. Because, like, for example, if you're going for, like, pool entrance here, you could also open that one up with a Hibana. If you're doing that with a Thermite, it might be a bit too static whilst doing it. So I think it helps in more than just the top floor. Anyway, 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in this first action phase. Mew Gemers will be taken out. They're thinking about putting down some air jabs as the Knights are trying to push forward towards their first actual engagement. As Pat is in security, will definitely be the first one.
Touching on that ban of the Valkyrie, I guess with the ones that we're seeing banned out here, it's kind of the trifecta for this map. Mira, normally you would say, is that trifecta of 3. You're sticking the Valkyrie in here in that case. And, well, Knights are sticking it to Wildcard nice and early. 2 kills swinging out. Gio and Pat both down. Control already leaning in favor of the attackers. They've got a lot of the stance going on downstairs. Imarin is left entirely by himself inside of Sunrise. And with all of his allies falling around the map, I'm sure he's feeling very alone right now. It's cold, guys. I need help. Somebody hold me, he says.
There's only one place he can be. There's only one place he can go. And Juicy gets that kill. Imarin drops. It's only up to Diesel now. Puts up a little bit of damage. It's not going to be enough. The wallbang comes in. A flawless ramp from Knights to start things off. And that is just a pay them back from what they just received in Consulate.
Well, saying you guys want to end the last map on flawless rounds, 2 of them to be precise. We'll start on one of our own. And if that continues into the second round, there's questions to be asking of Wildcard. Everywhere they were sat in that round was quite isolated. I talked about Imarin being sat by himself. I guess it was kind of the same on Cool Vibes as the round progressed. But it's the ease in which you saw the members of Knights just isolating them out, pre-firing through walls, knowing where they were based on the drone work, based on, no doubt, a bit of intuition in the mix as well. And look at this. We are going to see a mirror getting brought out. Often the site you'll see it played on is this one. Inside a service entrance, you can stick a mirror looking down in towards the main lobby if you want. You can have one looking across towards service entrance. It does then lean towards having an attack coming in from the west side. So a take of Sunrise going to be on the agenda, as well as Cool Vibes and a push in through kitchen window. No doubt going to be part of this puzzle too.
Now the IQ was 6 picked in for an IQ. It's always very strategical heavy when that happens.
We've got to use it just to feel like we've appreciated the sick pick.
We've used the mechanic. You cannot complain to us now. I'm just checking. What can it be really useful for? Maybe the pest? But then again, like, you just get your drone close to a wall and you also know where it is.
I think it's the fear of a Valkyrie, maybe.
Possibly. I mean, 6-pick is a thing, so you can 6-pick it in.
Yeah, the expectancy that it might come out, no doubt. I like the setup they've got coming here in the south of service as well, because they've got those 2 walls reinforced, the middle one with the mirror on it. What we've seen some teams then opt to do is stick a shield just inside the actual rotation they've opened up, facing down towards the middle door, just in front of it, so you can kind of play around the mirror without still exposing yourself, but can still swing it where you feel the need to. It gives you a lot of coverage, but it does open you up to be attacked from the west side inside of Sunrise. So if nothing else, it kind of doubles down on that strategy of, you know, force the attackers to come in via Sunrise. We'll deal with them that way. I'm keen to see if Knights go with that and say, you know what, we'll take your bait, we'll go for it, we'll go for Sunrise first. Forget about trying to face off against those mirror shields. Mirror windows.
We have a roaming mirror on our hands, actually, all the way up in security now. We'll be pushing through towards the actual office. There's Ethan here, hoping to contest the kitchen window. And Wildcard they're just trying to contest everything they can find, but
the stack.
Oh yeah, indeed, a lot of
ADS is stacked, one holding onto White Stairs, protecting lobby as well. So they're basically trying to keep him with a very clean angle of retreat back down White Stairs if required. Common to see teams on the attack want to get control of Penthouse and Theatre. This here just denies them getting control of the hallway. So you're coming in through the drop, for example, up inside Cubby to the northeast, either through VIP window or the double window. It definitely makes life a little bit more difficult. As said, Knights are fully invested in the setup coming out of Wildcard and goes, look, you've got 5 or 6 elements here that scream to me don't come from the east, and we're saying, fine, we'll do it. There is a focus in towards Office and in towards Sunrise, as you can see towards the top left of your screen.
1-0, Knights. 1 minute 30 left of this round as Knights setting themselves up to go for an execute into the kitchen. And if you're looking at it, there's not that many people looking into the actual kitchen from the defense. They find themselves in service, having these mirror windows. The drone, indeed. There's a lot of information to be gathered there from both Mozzie drones, actually. 2 of them. That's pretty sloppy on the likes of Knights.
It's a lot of intel being fed back and forth, and even looking at the drones on the other side, there are about 5 left here at this point. Strider's still got one in the back pocket. With 60 seconds to go, drone work is no doubt going to be a big part of this. Ethan moving his around ever so slightly to get an eye on where Hayward is holding down to the south by the couch. Looking to cause some trouble through this longer angle. So they have got the angles because this whole south wall isn't reinforced, but now it's about finding the kills. It's about keeping the doorway safe so you can go for a plan. But let's not forget just how critical information is for the defenders, especially in the form of these Mozzie drones.
It could definitely be as the smokes come down, and that's going to be a plant in the middle of the smoke. No one is going to be there to try and counter it. The smoke is not being countered by smoke itself, but instead they're using bullets to get him out of there. The diffuser will be dropped, and with 30 seconds left, this is not looking too strong for Knights. They need to find 5 kills on the likes of Wildcard, and it's only up to Juicy to try and make that happen. It's 25 seconds, and surely Wildcard are going to be able to pick up this one, and that would mean their first defensive round of Coastline.
You want to ace us in the first round, or flawless round us? We raise you a flawless round, or so the feeling is going to be if Juicy can't find himself a kill to kick this one off. Bit of a bizarre setup where they didn't have control of Courtyard. They had control of Office, they had control of Sunrise, but no one was watching Courtyard, so all it took was for Pat to drop in, will be a flawless round. Pat dropped into Courtyard and just sprayed through that south wall into the smoke, caught the Capitale, and the round was done and over from there. So without really getting themselves into any kind of firefight, Wildcard very decisively winning out that second round. A good hold coming out of them. I mentioned about the big focus towards the upstairs 90, towards Penthouse and Theatre, towards White Stairs, towards the main lobby. So please come from the west. They did, just not quite in the controlled fashion that was required.
Indeed, a good hold to come through. Hookah Lounge Billiards is where we're at right now. It's going to be Wildcard to put themselves up into their second site. Or third, actually, because we've seen 2 different ones now. Actually, have we?
Sites? Yeah, Hookah and Billiards in our kitchen.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, we did. So we're going back to Hookah now.
Just writing down my notes.
Writing it all down.
This is why you write down notes, because you know what sites have been on.
Protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
True.
I got you. You can stare at it through this glass that separates us if you like.
No, I have it. I was just confused because I was like, did we see the kitchen twice? Because there was a lot of emphasis into the kitchen as well. But
look but don't touch. Golden rule of notepads.
Anyway.
With the shiny glass. Rightio, Hookah and Billiards.
Indeed, hook and billiards. And we are seeing small adaptations. No, not really. We do see the Valkyrie coming out, and now the IQ is gone, Des.
10 seconds to go.
I love it how it's this kind of mind game back and forth of, oh, you bought IQ.
5 seconds.
You'll drop that next round because we haven't bothered bringing Valkyrie. And now we're going to bring Valkyrie. So it is being realized and is being used. We spoke about this back on the first day, how it has been one of the most banned operators in the region. I think it was 62% ban rate, I want to say. I think helped in part by the fact that Echo is disabled for a brief while. Maybe it was 52. It was definitely one of those numbers, I swear.
I think it's 58. I think we're in between.
Oh, man. I'll take the halfway
52,
point.
52. No, 50.
All right, 52, 52. Okay, cool. 62 is being optimistic. We'll describe it that way. First kill coming into Hayward. Ash, once more. Utility, flashbangs, and breaching charge is gone. Shield removal, not looking so pretty.
It's not looking pretty indeed. The first round was so very convincing for Knights, and then Wildcards, they brought it back very convincingly as well. And if you're starting it off with just a kill onto Hayward straight away, it's definitely not looking good for the Knights right here. They're going to be able to take care of the barbed wire there somehow with that grenade. Shrapnel does spread.
I'm still wondering why you'd invest a frag grenade in that case. Was there something there we didn't see?
It might be they might have thought someone was playing inside that corner, trying to get the kill.
I just find it peculiar. I guess if you can't drone it because it was the mute playing up there, it was Pat, maybe he's jammed it off, but I thought surely there's a drone giving you some kind of indication of what he's doing that can save you a frag grenade there. Because now they're down to none. No kills were found with it. It was more about the downstairs. Swing and a miss, swing for the hatch, and it will hit.
It would be fun if someone was on top of the hatch.
Surprise!
Just dropping down there. But it's not going to be happening. Wildcard find themselves. One man in front. 90 seconds they need to hold off. There's plenty of time for Knights to make something happen. The Wildcard are also not going to be feeling too rushed. As they realize that time is in their favor and they have a shotgun playing on the cool vibe stairs, so no one is coming through there.
A lot of focus on the downstairs too, it's worth mentioning. Here comes the... Oh, that's so easy. Normally it takes more shots than that with the MPX, but when it connects with the head, absolutely not. Strider's gone.
Just one shot is all you need in some cases if you hit the head there, and that means that the diffuser will be dropped. No one is going to be on the actual balcony. Will be wasting some extra seconds if they want to take control of that diffuser again. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're rotating around, getting that diffuser. Juicy will be dropping out. They're trying to get the control in, but are they going to be able to get it in time?
Milos is distracting me. Tell him.
I know. So
stop it, Dad.
Sit down. Sit down. Don't do stuff. All right.
That is the granddad chair, though, of the studio, where Milos likes to sit down.
It does.
Remember at the very start of the first day, and he was like, oh, I didn't see you there. One of those. It's the Milos chair. The other one spins, so I don't know why he's opting for the less mobile one, though.
Mobility is good, as we see right here. Ethan taken down by Josh. Wants to push through, but he still knows there's going to be a shotgun trying to challenge him right here in the cool vibe stairs. Will be spotted out. The shot will come through, but not completely connected. But Josh will go down eventually. My disc saved him there somewhat as the stun didn't come through straight away. Juicy able to pick up one kill to start things off. Is it going to be enough though? Dino coming down with that plans, but he's not aware of the fact that someone else is going to be moving in. There's no more cover. That will be around for Wildcard. Geo with the last 2 kills, and that is going to be the Knights. Now, on the back foot completely of this series, because, well, not just the maps have equaled up, but now Wildcard is also in front on Coastline.
It was curious how they committed so much time to dealing with Hookah getting below, playing with the shotguns, getting the frag grenades in, standing on couches to sledgehammer things away, and then don't even bother executing in towards that room. It's like they were trying to force them off the site so they couldn't defend it whilst they went for a more default plan inside or from Aqua. Just looks a bit too snug for Wildcard. We're never really under any threats there, I think, and Knights made it a bit easier for them. Round number 4, IQ is making a return, and sure enough, Valkyrie is departing. Just saying, why bring it back? It's going to happen the whole half, if not the whole game.
I mean, the pulse is here now, so that's okay. I mean,
you can get the cardiac sensor.
You get the pulse. You can maybe, you know, take out Pat to make sure that those C4s will not be landing anywhere near close to your feet. As Pittsburgh Knights, they need to desperately get themselves another round in. We're on Coastline. This is a map that favors attackers. We need to get in, well, let's say at least 3 rounds if we want to have a good second half.
Not forgetting as well, this was the map picked for them. They opted to come here. You would assume they would feel very, very comfortable. But the first few rounds, apart from the flawless start that we had in round 1, have looked anything but. Been pretty decisive, with round number 2 being a flawless round thanks to a wonderful east and vertical hold over Kitchen. And that last round, just not enough threat being posed by the Knights, not enough reason to scare Wildcard away from playing inside a hookah.
located
See how
by
Sunrise and
attackers.
Blue Bar goes, though. This is one of the sites that many regard as being quite difficult to defend. Not as bad as Penthouse and Theatre, of course, but still not a super easy one because there's a few windows leading in towards the sites as the opening from the courtyard. And also the fact that pool entrance, it's a pretty ideal place to go for a plan if you can unsettle the defender that often plays behind a shield, surrounded by ADSs, up to the north above the B-bomb site.
I wonder how many ADSs they put down next to the pool entrance. Because often we see like 2 or 3 being deployed right here on this wall. Actually, none. All right. There we go. T-Reed and Pruder.
We could play the castle game on hardcore mode easy, and you can try and find the ADSs. No, let's not do that. We'll be here for ages.
I really found one go shield if you want to play that one as Ethan tries to fall back just a little bit in construction back towards Sunroom. He's having a lot of freedom here with Gio in there in the lobby, able to support him. It's giving him the opportunity to fall back, both of them actually.
This is interesting. Yeah, they've acknowledged that often the entry point here is Penthouse and Theatre, and are opting to play 2 or 3 members, 2 inside kitchen service, 1 playing in the hallway below where they should be coming in from. No one's there, nothing on the scan, so this is the time to go, okay, clearly the attack isn't coming in from above us. We need to rotate and find out where they are. We did see 3 of them spawn in from the side of Knights down towards office. Very quickly have moved themselves upstairs. As you can see, Juicy starting some renovations, been contracted in to rebuild Coastline, turn it into some 5-star accommodation. And now they're moving over, C4 in hand. Of course, can't blow up this flooring, but at least the knowledge that someone is above is going to help you nicely. C4 up and alley-oop over the top. It comes out. It will get the down onto Dino. Won't get finished off just yet. Dino. My God, these names every single
Dino.
time.
I mean, Dino would be the Dutch way to say it as well, as right here, grenades are being tossed in just to make sure that Pat isn't going to be walking up as they go for the confirmed kill. And that's something I like, just that little bit of a utility use just to make sure you're safely going to be able to get your mate back up. And just look at it, no one is inside the B-bomb site. Absolutely no one is playing there. The complete flooring has been opened up. There's no one that can go back as well, but then Ethan just tosses over a C4 from Courtyard, secures that kill. 2 C4s have hit the men. It's like basically like a dynamite, right? Like a meteor, right?
Look what?
Like 2 C4s happening, big explosions, meteor. It's just trying to refer back to the joke.
Okay. These circular references are too much for me, Ham. However, pool entrance. Spoke about it earlier on as being the kind of main point that attackers will often push through to try and go for a plan. Sometimes Blue Bar, more often than not, it's always up towards the north side. And now the war of the top floor has been waged. It's all about the one on site. 1 man close, Pat's here. No one has any idea. It's as free a kill as he's going to find all day whilst the diffuser was going down. Obviously, he cannot respond. It's a 5 versus 2 wildcard even on course for another flawless round, if not for that kill coming out of Josh. But this has been pure domination for them. They've been patient. They've reacted to the intel coming out of the cardiac sensor, and now they've won themselves round number 4. My. Wildcard tearing ahead here on Coastline.
And here you see the experience of Wildcard coming in. First map, yes, it went towards the likes of Pittsburgh Knights. The second one was close, but now Wildcard looking to distance themselves from the Knights. If they manage to pick up 1 or 2 more rounds, they will surely find themselves in a very favorable position to win Coastline as a whole.
Again, coming down to the small mistakes.
It does.
They had the whole floor open. It was patchy, like cheese. They were in a spot where they had everything
no one was
open.
holding it.
No one could hide anywhere. Yet even with the player standing inside of the Sunrise bar, had no idea he was there, jumps on the bar. It's a freer kill as you're ever going to find. I have to ask that question again as we called out, I think it was back in round number 2. Where were the drones in this instance? Where was the stationary drone sat somewhere in the back of Sunrise watching for when the jump came through, when someone came pushing into the room? They completely missed it, unfortunately.
Not just that, but you know he's playing like under the staircase the entire time. He does up a C4, you try to challenge him. Other C4 has been tossed in, that gives away the information. Okay, the pulse is still on his cardiac sensor. Why don't you watch the vertical hole you created above the Sunrise door? Just so you know if he just rotates back in, because you know he's there. You could go for a safe plant. As long as you hold that door, nothing would have happened. That would have been a nice win.
They finally met their maker. Look at what we've got on either side.
Oh, there we go. We got the Valkyrie and we got the IQ.
Yeah, we do.
Look at how excited you are.
They're just destined to dance around each other for the whole half. But no, they finally strike gold. And although we're not playing inside the upstairs side, it's often where you'd see in Penthouse and Theatre. It's commonly where if you do see it played, you would see a mirror used in some variety, especially in ranked. Here, it's more about the vertical hold. They don't want to concede control of the upstairs. They want to hold on to it. Don't give them a chance to play for the retake, because this is the site I always use as the best example of how you play a retake strategy in this game. Very commonly, you start on the site. The attackers assume control of the top floor. They start smashing the floor open. You have to step away from site without being picked off by those that are holding the angles on the attacking side. You let them they tend to then get control of the site through kitchen window or through service entrance. You then tend to play for the retake. But here they're saying no. We want to challenge the established norm, the status quo. We want to hold upstairs and prevent them even getting that control in the first place, or at the very least, to waste a good packet of time.
Definitely trying to waste time here. First minute passed. Seeing a little barricaded doors all the way over to sunroom. It's going to be slowing down the take to eventually go. Swinging a miss indeed. Because I would assume they only want to have that lobby control, the main lobby control as well. But what you need to do first is go through security. As long as the barricade is there, they're going to have information whether or not you're going to be coming from that place. And Black Eyes in position. They know where and when the plant would be going down.
They've done the same again, where everyone is just stacked towards the east. So they're really not worried about the west at all. They just say, if you guys want to try and push kitchen, we know we can rotate round. We know we can contest you. So by all means, you're more than welcome to step up Sunrise.
Oh my God! What is that shot?
It's a shot. What is that shot? It's a killing shot, apparently.
He just flicked through it, got that kill as he went for the peek. It's like exactly he knew where he was. Wonder if there was a Black Eye in there or any drone or something like that just to support him going for that peek. And now he's inside of security there. He's going to be holding off at least one other player of the likes of Knights as Juicy holding off. A bit of a Mexican stand-up we have right here. A bit of a pre-fire coming through. But Juicy stays put, not going aggressive as Gio tried to do it himself.
I don't know, it's a weird one where the attackers are the ones who need to pick up the pace here. 45 seconds left and still not in full control of where they want to be. They've no doubt identified the key parts of the last round. Pat dropping into courtyard, late rounders spraying them down as they planted inside of kitchen was a big issue. Biggest issue they've got here in my mind is 30 seconds left, and Diesel with 3 smoke canisters still on side is going to make this so difficult, and Gio chases down his assailant. Finishes him off. 5 versus 2. Wildcard with another flawless round on the way. Yes, last round might not have been flawless, but it was 1 kill away from being so. This is, I think, how many would have expected this series to play out.
This is indeed how many would have expected it, and right here on Coastline is being portrayed perfectly by Wildcard. Strider tries to desperately find 1 kill, but he's not going to be able to find any, and that means the time will run out. It's a 1-on-5. The rounds will go up to 1-4. Wildcard able to get their 4th one in. And there's only 1 round left on this side. So Pittsburgh Knights, they better make it count to get themselves into a better position for the second half.
Just tap in the temple like, you can't flawless round us if we ain't inside the building. You're correct, but it's still another lost round. 4 on the bounce. Ouch. I'll stand by what I always say. 2 halves to a game of Siege. You don't know how well Pittsburgh Knights are going to come out. I almost said Pittsburgh then. I changed it at the last second.
Pittsburgh.
You don't know how well Pittsburgh are going to step up in the second half themselves, with it being their map pick. Going on to defense, you would assume they've got some setups of their own. And from Wildcard, I think we've seen some really interesting ones. These kitchen and service holds, many would just say, well, just smoke out the connector and just jump into the kitchen and plant. They've tried that once and it stung them. In this round here, they couldn't win the fights around the map. Didn't even get a sniff at the site itself. So I wouldn't be too surprised if round number 6 goes the same way. We go back upstairs into Hookah and Billiards to close things off. It's back where we started. It was the only round that we saw the Knights win, although in round number 3 we came back here again. The Wildcard were far more successful because the Knights could not unseat them from playing inside a Hookah.
All right. Wildcard, are you going to be able to put 5 on the board? These Knights going to be able to fight back. And you say, and indeed, there's always 2 games to, you know, there are 2 halves to a game of Siege. However, if Wildcard is able to put up these close of a flawless round every single time, how well would that translate when they go over to the attack themselves?
That's the hard press. Again, 2 halves to a game of Siege. You just don't know what the team's going to do on either half. Give them a bit of time to step into it and show. We've seen teams get 6-0 in the first half, only to step up and do wonderfully well once the sides change over. It was pre-fire, I think.
It was, but it was amazing.
Happy's happy. The name sticks. Almost a pre-fire into there. Oh, he does catch him with the final bullet in the mag. Goodbye, Juicy. Good night from the round, and good night to the Knights potentially in the first half. It is 4-on-1. It's a 5 versus 4. But with kills like that to kick things off, man. You had so much reliance on him in the previous round to do all the terraforming inside of Hookah from below as well, from Sunrise downstairs, using the grenades, getting on the couch, smashing things apart. That quite simply isn't an option here, so Wildcard are going to be even more comfortable playing on the site than previously. I say playing on the site, they'll be comfortable. No one is on site right now, except for Diesel.
Diesel is inside. Geo is, of course, close, but you lose 2 of your grenades now as well in the likes of Knights, which could be useful to, well, take out either Geo or Diesel, who are playing in these anchor positions. There's still going to be these 3 smoke instances left, and then you're looking at the timer, and there's 2 minutes left on the clock, and you realize how quickly this round already started off with that first kill. Wasn't even a spawn peek attempt, I would say. Okay, we're getting a lot of information right here with the IQ. Trying to go for some sprays with the GA, but not going to be able to find anybody yet. And yet again, we see this shotgun on close range. Pat just holding off. If someone walks through that barbed wire, they are dead.
One of the most infamous positions on this map is absolutely playing on Cool Vibes Stairs. Sat behind some barbed wire, normally with an ADS or 2 present, because we've seen the grenade, well, there's more the drone hole above that you can roll grenades down from the roof. We've seen so many kills come through there when ADSs are either expended or quite simply not present. Without Juicy on side, they will not be able to make use of that in this round. I'm just looking towards things like Strider being on the Capitao and how useful that has been in this first half. The answer, unfortunately, is not very. Haven't really had a chance to go for any executes except for that one in Kitchen back in round number 2. And Wildcard put that one in the dirt incredibly quickly in the same way Hayward's putting Diesel in there now. 60 seconds remain to a 4 versus 4. That is the smoke, most crucially.
Indeed, the smoke is gone. That's a very crucial operator for this round here. I just wonder how many C4s do they have left and how many of them will be coming from below as they're setting themselves up to go for a plant. The hookah table is not going to be used, and then suddenly there's going to be some shots raining down from luggage onto the players of the Knights. Strider going low. It's going to be Josh to try and contest this as he hopes to move himself up on these white stairs, but he is being watched, he is being viewed. As right now, he's nowhere actually. Amaran not going to be able to pick up the kill. The plant will go down, and Knights might set themselves up for a proper round right here, but it's a C4 kill to come through. Only 2 members left on Knights right now. They need to get themselves into this post-plant position because otherwise it is going to be a Wildcard that will surely take it.
Rotating 3 up and around 90 here. 1 coming down luggage. Josh knows he's watching his backside here, anticipating this one. Should be able to find it, but no! How does Pat win those? 1 versus 3. Dino out on the rotate, or on the repel, sorry. They know where he is. They know where the bullets are coming from. 10 seconds to win this engagement and get the defuse in. Now being stuck by Geo, and they're happy to contest. Drops down into a Claymore, finds the second. Can he get the spray down in time? We've seen this already, but he doesn't have enough time. Defuse comes out for Wildcard. It looked like a round where the Knights might finally find something in this first half, but Wildcard, 3 members. It doesn't matter if you win your gunfights, you're still out of time.
That is a 5-1 half for the likes of Wildcard here. Only 2 more rounds and they secure themselves map number 2 in a super convincing fashion, something we haven't really seen yet today, or yesterday rather.
You know what breaks my heart the most is knowing what map we go to next. We go to Clubhouse. These teams have played it twice across playoffs and the regular season. The first time they played, it was 7-2 to Wildcard. The second time they played, it was 7-0.
That is going to be hurting a bit. The style might suit Knights more if you look at how Oregon went.
I called them masochists the other day because they play it all the time, despite not doing very well on it historically. I believe they're like 2-4 in the regular season. Wasn't pretty.
Was definition of insanity again, wasn't it? Like
they played it. Yeah, they played it 6 times. They did lose it to. They played in the final against Team Sinister and even lost it there. In that best of 3, they won 2-1. I believe in the lower bracket. That was the one that they lost 7-8. So despite it being one of their favorite maps, they don't do very well on it. And that's my fear coming up against Wildcard. Hey, it's Fraser. Hey, buddy. It's been a firecracker so far. Best of 5s are always entertaining, and this is no exception. I agree. We really get to sample the best of both teams because if this had been a best of 1 stepping into it, everyone would be saying, wow, Knights are the better team. Not quite the case, because the longer the series is going on, Wildcard are warming up. Map number 2 came down to the wire. This one so far has been incredibly decisive. I'll save further judgment on Coastline until we've seen, though, how this second half plays out.
It's always the thing.
Try again.
Yeah.
Weave it. Thread the needle. There we go. Love to see it.
The thing is, though, like, Wildcard has been looking so decisive on their defensive rounds that I'm not sure if this is Knights just falling apart a little bit. or if it's Wildcard that is just stepping up right now, because this is the experience Wildcard should be having, a wider map pool as well as the kings of the region, as you said before, and that might come back to haunt Knights later on in the series, as you might see right now, depending on how these next couple of rounds will go.
In the last couple of maps, we've looked mainly at players like Dino and Hayward really stepping up. Between them both, they've got 5 kills across 6 rounds. It has been silent on Coastline for them so far. It hasn't been the performance that some may have come to expect. It's not going to be the earth-shattering delivery across the whole series coming out of Dino that maybe we thought, after seeing him on 27 kills across the last 2 maps, he'd be able to bring in here. But there is still a chance for retribution. There is still time for them to do something here. If this round goes against them, though, it's match point, and it is a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll into map number 4.
That is definitely true. 3 people holding off on this one repel right here that Diesel tries to put up. Is going to be not able to find a kill. The diffuser will be dropped. Smoke canister, however, is going to be dealing a lot of damage to the teammate. A Strider almost losing his life there as they're trying to go for some wall banks from the roof. Not able to find anything, and you see Wildcard is they're just determined on getting kills from that window, as again a new player has put himself up on top of this roof. He's going to be Geo that has to try and get this kill in. Flashbangs will be tossed in to try and waste any ADSs or magnets that might be in position to deal with any of the other utility that might want to toss in. Pat able to pick up that kill, hasn't have any grenades left anymore though, so that means they will have to force out this one player that's prone on the ground whilst Dino is there to support him.
All comes down to timing. This is a lot of time to spend trying to assume control of Hookah. And yes, they've got drones crawling around it like rats in a nest. So many of them stacked out here on Hookah balcony. 1 on the repel still. Geo going to find a kill onto Strider, and that relieves at least some of the problem inside of Hookah itself. Dino trades it back from the rotate, mind you. So it's still kind of in the no man's land right now. No one wants to step in. Smoke canisters are coming out. 40 seconds to go. There's still a lot to play for. Knights, I imagine, feeling more and more comfortable. I would have said that if Dino hadn't just died holding that rotate, because now the side is clear, and understandably so. Pat is straight in, trying to get a plant down. They're going to play aggressively here, but going to lose the gunfight. That's a little bit over the top, I feel, because the diffuser is now sat in enemy territory. They can't recover this one without clearing their way through the defenders. Knights is the last one, sorry, Knights. Hayward is the last one left alive. He's had to rotate his way back up. Plant is going down. They've done the work they had to. Aimarin's going to get the plant down. It's a 2 versus 1. The number of times we said there's no way they should lose this, and somehow they sometimes do. The first kill is 1, it's a 1 versus 1. Aimarin's got a hold here, the pre-fire comes in, and he wins it almost as a say it. It's a cast a curse. Hayward steps up, comes up big for the boys. It's not going to be match point, it's going to be 5 and 2.
He had the right idea of holding the outer side of the bomb chassis right there, because he would be able to actually see him pass through, then go for the pre-fire himself, and instead it was Hayward that used that against him. Got the pre-fire down and got Knights that round. But Wildcard, you should have just planted inside a hookah at that point. I'm not sure why they went that aggressive in that 5 or 4 and 2 situation.
I thought to myself, all right, he wants to plant behind the reinforcement. It's safe there. No one's going to be able to see you. You're basically in a safe iron box or steel box surrounded by all the reinforcements. But then with the diffuser, opts to challenge by jumping and locking himself into an animation through the rotate in towards Billiards, and loses the fight to the Mute, who wasn't even shooting at his head. So it was a horrendous pre-fire, a bad call in the round. It felt like they'd basically thrown that one away entirely, if not for a miraculous play coming out of Hayward.
Kitchen service. Second side the Knights will go to. Are they going to be able to turn it all the way around, or is it going to be Wildcard that is going to be able to step in and intervene, make sure that they can secure this map with fashion? Quick fashion.
I say with fashion.
With.
Or they're just wearing incredible drapes. Are they in a suit?
They do, maybe. You don't know that.
Could you imagine if a team played all of their games sat in suits? I often say wearing a suit puts you in that professional mindset mentality.
It does.
I'm yet to see the first coach propose that as an idea, but I will love it when it happens.
Have there actually been coaches with suits on in Siege? I've never seen.
At LAN events.
Has it been
maybe a long
suits,
time
though?
ago. I can't think of any.
No,
But there is a thing. I've seen in a lot of esports, there are coaches that will be fully
Yeah.
dressed up. Absolutely. Righto. Righto. Such an Australian thing to say. It just slips.
It just slips in. I mean, we're down there now anyway. We're down under. So
Yeah.
you can let it slip. It's fine.
Vertical hole coming out as a few members are playing upstairs. Reinforcements committed. ADS is committed on 90. That shield there once again. So this is very reminiscent of the hold that we saw coming out of Wildcard the first time they defended this site. only they've actually mixed in both. So in the second time we saw they brought the mirror and held down Penthouse and Theatre. The first time they stuck one player on 90 with a shield and a couple of ADSs. They've opted to do both. So literally screaming, we are not conceding top floor. That is our territory. I'm curious to see if Wildcard go for what Knights did back on Laundry and Supply on Oregon, where they just rush and say, you know what, you've got so much going on upstairs. There is no way you can commit to holding the downstairs at the same time, at least to a sufficient capacity to be able to hold us back. He's down himself, I hope not.
He didn't down himself as Gio actually used the buck hold that he just created with a skeleton key to get the down. Had to go for a reload, then finished him off, but the C4 was tossed up wildly. Not anywhere near Gio. And no chance of catching him as he's crawling across, snaking himself across, getting inside of Billiards. Might give him another angle that he's going to be able to use to, well, actually opens up one that can be used up against him as well. As Juicy was aggressive there in the VIP hallway. Going to be able to get that kill. The buck will be off the board. The skeleton key, well, I mean the IT S12. It's not as effective as the skeleton key itself.
Just kind of stare at that hole on the wall like, huh? Open the two holes at the top and nothing else. Unbelievable. Ethan finds Strider. 4 versus 3. With only a minute and 15 left. The execute comes into kitchen as you would expect. With no one being in place here, Diesel's going to try and beeline it straight for a fight. Just immediately trade out with Dino. First time we've seen that in this series. But it's all about the diffuser. And it's a 2 versus 1 for Wildcard with 65 seconds. They know the Juicy is playing on the upstairs. They've got all the time in the world. Hayward managed to clutch it out in the last round. Can he do the same?
Can he do the same now? Indeed, that is the question. The diffuser will go down. Do they have any information of where the plant might go down? C4 will be tossed in. That's just in time going off of it. But a bit of a pre-fire will be coming through. Ethan not taking too much damage though. As the cover will be there, but will it be in time? Yes, it is. As Juicy didn't actually commit on trying to take him down. And that leaves us in a 1-on-2 post-plant situation. Both of these members are going to be outside right now. And this is a very hard hill to climb for Juicy. Is he going to be able to find these kills? I don't think he will. It's a 1 speed. They're both in cover. The only option he has is trying to go for an actual defuse, and a grenade will be tossed in, but it's not just too short.
Guys,
we need to go for it now. Yes, indeed. Wildcard just in time going for that peek, but I was going to think that he wasn't actually going to be going for it. Oh my.
That's throwbacks to that Kaid defuse coming out on Villa the other day. Remember the one?
I remember.
A 1v2 for a Kaid, 6 the diffuser behind the bar in games on Villa. And despite the push coming in from the defenders, they couldn't finish, or from the attackers, they still couldn't catch him in time. That almost felt reminiscent. Wildcard at 6-2. One more round, we go to Clubhouse, a map that historically the Knights have not done well on. They did do well the other day. I will absolutely give them that. It was a very impressive game. But sometimes history serves as wonderful evidence for what the future holds. And I am concerned that unless they've adapted enough, they're going to struggle. They banned Jaeger the other day as a target ban against It Be Star. I had a chat to Picnic earlier on about that. I can't imagine we'll see a similar thing coming through because Wildcard have a little bit too much to them. And I asked Picnic yesterday and said to him, what is your biggest fear about Wildcard? What is it that you would say they have the edge over other teams? And he said, they just always seem to know what you're doing. We don't know how, but they just always know what to do. They know where you are, what it is you're doing, and they know how to adapt. And in this series, maybe they haven't adapted as strongly as you would come to anticipate, but as mentioned, as the series has worn on, Wildcard have got hotter and hotter to the stage. They're now burning as brightly as the sun.
They just needed to warm up indeed, and that's definitely the position they're in right now. 6-on-2, 4 match points to play with. It's Wildcards to lose. They are the favorites, and as Knights is going to be 4 rounds down, you can almost guarantee Wildcard will take this one.
5 seconds left.
They run rounds 2 through 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds. Round 7 did go the way of Knights, and then round 8 back to the side of Wildcard. There's no consistency that has been built by the side of Knights, but that is all we can afford to see from now. 4 rounds back-to-back to take it to overtime. Again, remembering, this was their map pick. So far, Wildcard are showing them how to play it in style.
They do indeed. Gio holding off in the window into blue. Hoping to catch off one of these roamers, but Emorin's turn is going to be confirming no one is left there. That gives them the opportunity to move in, and that's exactly what they're doing. The hologram will go first, Ethan will follow. As they have sunrise control, they know blue is safe as well, and probably office will be coming in soon as, you know, into their hands as well. And that means that the complete western side will be under control of Wildcard. And that sets them up to go for a kitchen take. something that Knights has a different approach for to defend, as they're a bit more vertical oriented than Knights is, than Wildcard was.
Even on the defense, Wildcard were very, very good with their vertical play. Remember the kitchen and service defense? We've seen them come out of both sides, to be fair here. None of them really relying on these lateral defenses where it's all about holding perimeter rooms. There's been a lot of enjoyment in playing the vertical style. And it has really shown results for Wildcard, less so for Knights to date. Let's see how this final round, well, potential final round plays out. No one dead yet inside the first 90 seconds. This has probably been the most peaceful round I think we've seen so far on the map.
It's definitely the most peaceful one, but it's starting to change as Juicy's taking quite a lot of damage and shots toward him. As you say, it's peaceful.
He's back in the same spot, mind you. Playing upstairs again, so same as last round.
Yeah.
They've gone for the ADSs on 90. They've gone for the mirrors inside a penthouse. Only one of them, mind you. So they haven't even reinforced that same wall. So a couple of changes, but not enough to stop Wildcard finding the opening kill. It's Dino going down on the Goyo.
There's going to be 2 people down on site, 2 roamers still upstairs, and they will be supported by the mirror windows that Juicy is so determined to play. And if Wildcard realizes this, they might just be cutting themselves straight towards the side, leave one person upstairs just to make sure that the roam and rotate of Juicy might not be coming through. But a C4, well, Strider is going to be starting things off. Pat will fall. 30 seconds. The execute needs to come down now, and they know it's going to be focused on the kitchen. Is there someone upstairs? Well, there was, but Hayward takes him out, and that is going to be leaving things ever so... Well, actually, I was going to say hard, but it's going to be Ethan to respond. It's just a back and forth we're seeing right now. Diesel wants to move through, but he will be taken down by Juicy. From above, the diffuser will be recovered. It's a 1-on-3 situation. Surely Knights should be able to take this one as he flashes himself, and there we have it. Strider able to pick up the last kill. Ethan will fall. It's Knights that keeps themselves in the race for just one more round at least.
All came down to that last second awkward execute, and you saw the lack of drone or the lack of information really shining through there, I thought at least. Charging in, Capital not entirely sure where the defenders were, who was holding what angle, and gets killed for free. And the Ash is then left in a 1 versus 3. Better from Knights. Is it enough to roll over for the next 3 rounds? Because now we've got to go through that full site rotation, kicking things off with Blue Bar and Sunrise.
Back to Blue Bar. As Wildcard is going to be attacking their tertiary bomb site. Yana again being brought for the grenades. We have the Capitao down there for some smokes and asphyxiating bolts. We have the Buck to put pressure from above. And the Nomad to stop these flanks from happening. They have an all-round lineup on the likes of Wildcard. All they need to do is just execute it into perfection. That's just everything, you know.
Just execute into perfection. Lol. Just do it, bro.
Just do it.
Ain't that hard, right?
Don't mess up.
I guess one of the best teams in the region. I'm sure you can execute this strat absolutely perfectly, no problem at all. As a reminder, top of your screen, APAC Cups every Sunday, played at rainbow6apac.com. Or just rainbow6apac.com and you'll find the appropriate links. There's a massive big play now button. Get yourself involved. Maybe we'll cast you next time you guys come here.
Maybe indeed.
Could be nice.
Could be nice.
We love some variety.
Love to have some variety.
10 seconds to go.
As just looking at 2 shields right here. I believe the Wamai might be playing on the actual pool entrance wall, I assume. At least I think so, because, you know, you want to have those magnets up there.
This is the kind of setup you normally see coming in for pool entrances: a shield, a jammer onto the wall so they can't get it open, and then usually a couple of ADSs, as you mentioned. But right now, they're not positioned there. They are elsewhere. They've gone walkabouts. They've grown legs and developed sentience, have chosen to reposition themselves. Or maybe just a Hayward, as of yet, has opted to put them elsewhere. Where has he put them?
I have no clue. Maybe upstairs. Can we find him? Oh, there one. Okay, that's one in the bar. Saw that one. All right.
The rest, we simply don't know.
The rest is unknown.
There's a lot going on around pool entrance, mind you. It seems to be an early bit of aggression coming out of the attacking side. Wanted to bust this one open nice and fast, not dilly-dally for too long. They have committed a bit in there, but Tony really found the shield, not bothered to push it otherwise. Now it's a case of saying, right, we know what's going on. There's quite a bit on the downstairs, so let's move upstairs and play for this vertical destruction. Get the floor open, start removing anything else that's remaining. That's the play.
I like the use of the Yana drone right here, just following it up with your actual entry fragger. I believe the Buck is now being brought over as well to potentially open up from above. Oh, so the shotgun just misses the shot.
Timing.
Juicy, indeed. A bit of unlucky timing, not able to get the kill there.
would have been big if he managed to find himself a free kill, but now everyone is pretty safely inside the building, I think. Might be still one outside on the balcony, or at least outside towards ruins. And the attack down, a cool vibe seems to be the play. But you've got to deal with Dino, who sat down here with a C4 in hand. He's going to go for the alley-oop once more, but they moved away a long time ago, sadly, my friend. That means nothing is going to come out of that C4. There are none left, as Josh has now also used his. I imagine he used it quite a while ago, in fact. An opening kill this time round goes the way of the Knights, after last time it was Wildcard that took that early lead.
Leaves us with the last 70 seconds. Wildcard are setting themselves up to go for an execute. The Capital has joined the party, still having his utility in his crossbow and in pockets. As Geo hoping to find someone from upstairs, has all these angles, open up with a skeleton key, but is not going to be able to find anybody yet. He also doesn't completely commit to any of these angles, so he might not going to be able to find anybody at all. Spots out onto the smoke right there. He's going to get down himself, though. Loses his life, and that means Knights are putting themselves up for yet another good round, potentially on the defense here, as the asphyxiating bolts come through, but the shotgun will chase him down. Is he going to be able to get the kill? No, it's not. It's a flawless round indeed. Knights stepping it up, showing they're not done yet, and suddenly we're in a 6-4 situation where a comeback could be possible.
Despite that shaky round 8 on kitchen and service and then going on to win it in the next round, they've looked pretty good this side of things. I mentioned previously, 2 halves to a game of Siege, attack and defense for either side. And here, of all maps to start leaning towards being defensive, it's Coastline. Not something we've seen. In APAC North, I believe, again, it was 32% was the win rate for defenders on Coastline. A very big attacker lean. Here, throwing caution to the wind, Oceania are saying, ha, no. Defender leading map.
No, defense, you know. We're playing into the game, using time as our ally.
I do keep on harking back to that point again, though, the site choice being a thing, right?
Yeah.
Back in round number 7, when Knights won, it was on this site. You mentioned a couple of rounds back they'd have to go and do the full rally here and win all 3 sites once more to force it into overtime and see just how close this game really is. Last map ended at 7-5. Bit of heartbreak in the dying round for them. But all things are still square. That's what I love. Oh, another talk. Sparko. Oceania Nationals are so wild. Good luck, Knights, and Wildcard may the best team win. Also, broadcasting team is doing an amazing job. Thanks, mate.
Thank you, Sparko.
We had a lot of fun with you yesterday, didn't we?
We definitely did. It's good to see them so happy as well.
And it's just cool they're tuning into another, well, not really another region, it's within the same region.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, under normal circumstances, all these teams would be together competing at a major. They would be fighting out in the APAC League. I think it's called the APAC Division, I can't remember it entirely. The APAC League major where you get a few teams from the south, a few teams from the north, you smash them in a pot, and you get 4 victors come out the top who then head on to SI with the very comfortable number of points that you get as a result of finishing in those spots.
But, well, so times have changed.
How the times change.
How the times change, indeed.
Soon enough, we will get to see them all compete against one another, as well as just talking to each other on Twitter.
Oh.
Didn't really know he was around the corner, it looks like, from Hayward there. Not going to find the opening kill, unfortunately. But at least the attempt was made. That's what counts. It's the effort that counts.
It's the effort that matters in the end, as Hayward, yet again, will be finding himself into a gunfight, but not really any damage done to either party. He's going to find himself stuck, though, inside the office, something that isn't really, well, really helpful for him, as there's literally someone at every single angle he could imagine. Him going a bit too aggressive could be leading to his demise, as I believe Diesel holding off right here as well. We'll be checking security and sunroom. And that means they're going to be trying to hunt down this one member first, putting a lot of pressure down onto the Jaeger. He needs to try and survive for as long as he can, but he will not succeed in doing so. Geo will pick him up, and that's the entry for Wildcard, and that might be what they need for this round.
Kind of danced his way into a corner there, across from security and into office, and thought, oh, I'm in danger. It's not when Ralph Wigan from the Citizens laughs and knows that there is only danger awaiting around the corner, as there was no safe exit back out to security. 2 players hanging around blue was never going to make his job easy. However, Geo, despite finding that opening kill downstairs, has now been shut down by Dino, and things are all balanced with 75 seconds left on the clock.
Indeed, balances out. A lot of vertical play actually coming down from the defense here at Knights, which has been serving them well so far. Dino not opting to go off of it yet. Just holding down, as Ethan will be walking through now, but it's not going to be able to get picked up. 3 players right now around the Cool Vibe stairs, and his flashbangs will be tossed in. They will be getting caught by these discs. Wonder if there's going to be a shotgun around there to try and stop them from pushing up, as we have 2 people in the same corner right now, just holding it off. You surely don't want to be there as the time goes down. Smoke canister will be used to at least slow them down a little bit. Grenade will be tossed in. It's getting the kill down onto Strider as he flies down all the way into the next room. But Josh is still alive in this one corner right here up in the hallway. If he manages to get these kills down, he could be making himself huge for Knight. Because if he does not, it's most likely going to be a wildcard round. He's in such a crucial position down here. Even if they want to go for the plant, he could be in a very good position. Gets the first kill. It's an upside down repel as well. Is he going to be able to get the Nomad? No, he does not. It's Amaranth to come down on top. Will be able to pick up another kill as Pat gets that one. It's a wildcard round. It has to be, as the plant is going to be coming down yet again. A lot of damage being done onto Dino, and he will be finished off. It's wildcard that will get it. Amaranth with the last kill, and it's them to go up and win their second map up to Clubhouse.
Putting themselves at series point, and absolutely going into Clubhouse, it is the tough one. We've not seen the side of Knights beat Wildcard on it. In fact, they have been slapped about 7-2 and 7-0 on it across the regular season and into playoffs. And whilst in this map, there was a bit of fight being shown back by the Knights, Wildcard ultimately prevail. Not quite the strength we saw on those first couple of maps coming out